What's up, Taiwan? I'm Reece Ayers with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's military is showing off its new jet trainer while getting ready to say goodbye to its oldest aircraft. Jaime Okan reports from eastern Taiwan.
Taiwan says farewell to one of its oldest fighter jets. For almost 50 years, these American-made F-5s, also known as Tigers, were used to not only defend the skies above Taiwan, but also to train the country's fighter pilots.
说要换装，其实对我而言，只是换一个地方，然后飞不一样的飞机。那准备跟学习的方式，其实都是一样的，努力付出。
But this goodbye marks a new era for Taiwan's Air Force. Replacing the F-5 are these new, domestically made advanced jet trainers. They're unique in that they use a state-of-the-art simulator to help pilots get a feel for the variety of jets Taiwan has in service.
With the advanced, flight control and all that heads-up display, it's easier for us to simulate like a real enemy and to have our training.
The jet trainer, or Brave Eagle as it's nicknamed, it's part of Taiwan's efforts to modernize its military. And because they're locally made, Taiwan is able to not only cut costs, but also boost its domestic defense industry. This Air Force base in Taidong is home to one of the country's largest training facilities. And it's also going to be home to 66 of these brand new jet trainers. Now, the military hopes that these new aircraft and the technology that's inside them will help better train its Air Force pilots. Taiwan's Air Force is under immense pressure as it scrambles regularly to intercept Chinese warplanes flying near the country. Part of the decision to retire the F-5 was due to safety concerns, as the military has been dealing with a string of recent accidents, losing several aircraft and pilots in the past 3 years. That's why analysts say the move to retire the F-5 is the right decision.
台湾的 F5 其实并没有跟其他国家一样有做一个 upgrade， 也就是它的 jet 那个弹射椅没有升级，所以一旦出现飞行员操作失误或者是机械故障的话，飞行员可能就比较没有这个逃生的机会。
On top of the modernization efforts, Taiwan also hopes the new aircraft can help solve a pilot shortage. New recruits that have already flown the jet trainer say it's much easier to handle the craft, something that should benefit a strained force. But regardless of the difficulty, trainees like this one are committed to doing whatever it takes to get ready for the worst.
We are trying to be 100% ready if there is any possible war.
All 66 of the Brave Eagle jet trainers are set to be delivered by 2026. And for young pilots like Kai, the next step is making the transition from a jet trainer to a fully armed fighter jet. Joseph Wu and Jaime Okan in Taidong for TaiwanPlus.
Every year, Taiwan's military pays hundreds of thousands of US dollars to send some of its most promising young officers to train in US military academies. But this investment only pays off if they stay in the forces after getting back to Taiwan. Bryn Thomas reports.
Whether it's learning to work together or learning to lead, the best and the brightest of Taiwan's military are looking to the United States for help. By sending some of its officers to military academies like West Point and Georgetown, Taiwan hopes to improve its military. It's a big investment, one that will only pay off if Taiwan can hold on to its brass after they return. But experts say problems in the military push talent away.
因为不是组织文化不好嘛，在军队里面他根本讲话不算话，17点军校，他的学费4年下来都要花费我们国家1000万。我们要把最优秀的人才来办教育，国军才会强大。
The situation has some in Taiwan's government worried. The Control Yuan, Taiwan's government watchdog, called on the Defense Ministry to do more to retain their top talent in a report released this week. In response, members of Taiwan's armed forces say they've put plans in place to retain foreign-educated officers after they return.
经管的规划上，或者是在服役年限的这个年限的调升的这种方法的研究上，或者是在整体的包含一些理念的沟通跟座谈等等这些方面都会采取一些配套的措施。
But whether it's domestic or foreign trained talent, the military's inability to hold on to its top leadership is a problem that could impact Taiwan's security, and one with no easy solutions. Andy Xue and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's presidential candidates have outlined their positions on the country's labor issues. All three of Taiwan's presidential hopefuls took to the same stage at an event hosted by some of the country's biggest labor unions. Each laid out their platform on issues like funding labor insurance and migrant workers. At the end of the event, organizers held a flash survey, asking the audience and people watching online which candidate they backed most. Ko Wen-je of the Taiwan People's Party won with 68%. The average mortgage term in Taiwan has hit a record high. Taiwan's housing is some of the most expensive in the world relative to incomes. With prices growing faster than wages, home buyers are taking out longer loan repayment periods. The average mortgage term for the third quarter was 25 years and 4 months, up a full year from a year earlier. Taiwan has seen 2 more accidents at construction sites, one of them fatal. They're the latest in a string of mishaps, casting a spotlight on Taiwan's workplace safety culture and its failure to enforce safety rules. John Van Trieste has this story.
By the time firefighters got here, it was too late. A cave-in at this construction site in the southern city of Kaohsiung buried a worker alive on Tuesday. All that was left to do was to dig the body out. It took the firefighters an hour. After reviewing security camera footage from the site, officials figured out what had happened. This, it turns out, was not a freak accident.
初步调查呢，是发现雇主在从事露天开挖作业时，没有依法设置挡土支撑，这部分违反了职业安全卫生法第6条第1项规定。
Officials have ordered work to stop and promised to prosecute those responsible. But the maximum fine the company can face is less than $10,000. And this wasn't the only construction mishap that day caused by workplace safety failures. A crane collapse just outside Taipei injured its operator. Officials are still investigating the cause, but they say they'll fine the construction firm up to $3,000 for failing to install proper equipment. Poor safety at construction sites is a recurring problem. This year, improper practices and violations of the law have toppled apartment blocks in Taipei and sent a crane tumbling 30 stories in the central city of Taichung, hitting a passing metro car and killing 1 person. Officials say that while these incidents involve different violations of different laws and so aren't directly related, more can be done to ensure safety. And they say more is being done right now.
像我们也会参考一些国外，尤其日本这一块，我们也跟他进行合作，其实习协。然后最近我们也进行更进一步的一个探讨，他一个有没有更也要我们法规里来做一个精进的一个作为，我们会吸取他们的一些经验来做我们的修正。
But in the end, only Taiwan's government can solve Taiwan's problems. And how well it can put what it learns from overseas into practice will be a matter of life or death. Howard Zhang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese students have ranked first in civic literacy in a survey of 24 countries. The survey found that 8th grade Taiwanese students had good awareness of immigrant rights, race and gender equality, and environmental issues. But Taiwanese students participated less in volunteer work compared to students from other countries. Education officials say they hope students can turn their knowledge into action.
整体的素养教育呢，不会偏颇在只是记东西，或是背诵一些需要知道的。那希望这一些都能够在他的生命中变成可以是行动出来。
A massive carp has been caught in a top Taiwan tourist destination, Sun Moon Lake. The fish is over 70 centimeters long and weighs more than 15 kilograms. Large carp like this used to be common in the lake in central Taiwan, but their numbers had been dwindling. The catch is considered a sign of success for government efforts to boost native fish populations by controlling invasive species. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today, check out this cloudscape in Taiwan's central Nantou County. I'm Reece Ayers, take care and see you next time.